Okay, Robert, this video is just for you. We're going to remove the spark plugs. We're going to remove this PTO cover. Underneath here they call it a Pto Coupler. We are going to do this so that we can check to see if the motor's seized, okay? So, my son's going to follow me with the video, and then we're also going to show you how to check the starter solenoid, how to get inside the cover. So here goes. Ready? Film me. I'm removing the spark plugs now. Okay, I've already loosened them, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove them. Okay. Now we're going to come down here. I've already removed the hose clamp that goes right here, and I slid it back. I'm just going to grab this cover. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to pop it off. Okay, that's the cover. Now this is your coupler. This is called a Pto Coupler. See the grooves on it right here? As you can see, I can turn it by hand. See that? By hand. See that groove though? If you needed to, you could put a wrench on there. But I can turn this by hand. You shouldn't even need a wrench to turn it when the spark plugs are out. It should turn nice and easy. Okay? Now, if the bendex was on the starter was stuck or engaged, what you'd want to do is take this, maybe turn it one direction and then turn it back the other and see if the index would pop out. Okay, now right here is where I siliconed your seal in, and it does appear to be holding, okay? So the seal is in. That's where I repaired the seal because it kept popping out. And at this point it seems to be holding. Now, to get to check your starter solenoid here, hold this again. The Allen wrench you're going to use is a 3/16, okay? 3/16. And it fits inside of here perfectly. You'll remove all of these. When you get this out, you're going to take this out here like this, set it in the middle like that. You're going to lift this up. On this side is all the electrical. If this fuse were to blow, your gauges would not work. So if your gauges ever shut off, you just open this cover, replace that 1/4 amp fuse. Okay, now, this here, let me see the camera. This here is your starter solenoid. Okay, there's the positive battery right here. This one is the one that goes to your starter. It's in the front. This other one here is the one that comes from the battery. Okay?
Isn't it your negative?
Actually, hold on, I'm backwards, aren't I? Yeah, I am backwards, aren't I? Oh, I'm backwards there. This battery cable, the top one here, is directly from your battery. This cable right here goes directly to your starter. So if you take a jumper wire and you jump it from here to here, you'll be giving your starter direct power just by touching these two together. Okay, now there's a yellow wire right here. That yellow wire is your power. If you touch this yellow wire to this power right here, it should give power to your starter down here and give it power. Okay, this wire and the black wire are coming from your starter switch. So that's the ground, that's your power from your starter switch, the button that you push to start it. So literally, if you give this power from here to here, this will turn over and should turn over your starter. If it does, but it doesn't work when you hit the switch, if it turns over when you do that, generally, it means your switch is bad and you got high resistance. If you do this and it doesn't work, then it means that your solenoid's bad. That's how you check it. Now, when you're putting it all back together, make sure you're careful. There's a rubber seal right here. Okay? Make sure you get it all back together and you set it back. You're going to hold the camera again and watch me put it back together. Okay? So, here I want to make sure all the wires are in and that I seal it up good. Look around, make sure it's nicely sealed on all sides. You can even set it back on the battery if you wanted. Okay. Put all your fitted tools back in. Sometimes those fuses blow for the gauges because this doesn't have a good contact to the fuse. So you need to press the little terminals together a little bit tighter or try to clean them a little bit. Okay? Anyway, so once you've verified that you can turn that coupler over, now here's another thing I need to say. Just because, look down here, just because I can't turn this by hand doesn't mean it's necessarily the engine. It's possible there's something wrong with the jet pump. If you have something inside the jet pump, like a rock or something, it would also keep you from turning over your motor. So this should turn freely. If it does, it means your motor's good. If it doesn't, it could mean the motor's bad. But it could also be your jet pump. So if you sucked in a rock or something and you're getting binding, that would also keep it from turning over. So you need to check and make sure nothing's stuck in your jet pump. Okay? I'm getting all these screws back. Now, once you get all this back, this cover right here, you just put it on even like this, and you push on the back and it snaps on. Take this clamp right here, tighten it back up. Okay, now the spark plugs, get them all back in, and you're all done. That's all there is to this.
Should I put the other one in?
Here you go, son. Just be careful, don't drop it. I'm going to tighten up all these clamps. Okay, so remember, just because that won't turn over, you could have a jet pump that's plugged, that's got an issue too. If you got something stuck in it, I don't know. If you sucked a rock up, that would definitely cause you a problem. So I don't know if you were on the shore somewhere and had an issue with a rock or not. So keep that into consideration. There's never any reason to just keep turning over a motor. You need to figure out if you don't have spark, if you don't have fuel, you don't just sit there and keep turning over the motor. It's really bad for the electronics of the jet ski. So, anyway, also double check to make sure you have good voltage at your battery, because that would also keep it from going click, click, click.
Low battery, it's about to die.
Low battery. Alright, so there you go. Hope that helped. Talk to you later. Hit the record off button, please.